I think we should be live now. It's not telling me. Hey guys, we got an amazing show planned. I have with me the amazing Pink Bella Aloha. We're going to play the intro and get started. And it's going to be an awesome show, so buckle up. And yeah, well, this should be really fun. And
aloha.
And then I always play this video, guys, reminding you to subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Rumble. Hit the notification icon so you know when I go live. The bell, ring the bell, and then hit the subscribe button, and then also hit the like. So give the video a thumbs up. And whether you're watching on my platform or Pink Bella's platform, like the video or follow us. If you're watching on Facebook, follow us both on Facebook. Because they limit your friends. I'm at the maximum amount of friends, but I can have followers, so you can always follow me on there. Okay. My guest today is Pink Bella Aloha. She's a Galactic Akashic Records reader, multidimensional healer, and Ascension wayshower. She works with the Starseeds, Lightworkers, and 144,000 to prepare humanity for the transition into 5D New Earth in alignment with Galactic Starseed origins. Her sessions and mentorships include light shield activations, clearing contracts and karmic loops, dragon activations, divine goddess code activations, and multidimensional healing across the 12 to 22 chakras. She's a higher self liaison, and she channels Galactic Councils of Light to assist others with clarity, soul mission, and guidance. Pink Bella is also the creator of a free ebook called Starseeds, 7 Keys to Your Awakening, available on her website. And you can check out her website at alohapinkbella.weebly.com. You can email her at alohapinkbella@gmail.com. And you can check her out on Instagram, pinkbella_aloha therapy. At Facebook, she's Pink Bella Aloha Therapy. And then she also has the podcast, the Cosmic Starlight Podcast, which is available on all audio platforms. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Pink Bella, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for that great intro. How are you? Aloha, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. It's going to be an awesome show, as always.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what other people have been experiencing, but this full moon has been absolutely chaotic for me. Like, I mean, it's seriously like it's not just me, but like people that are around me in my life, and new people that I meet and stuff like that. Like, people are just really going through it. People are getting hit with stuff out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Things are coming up, and like I don't know what that means.
I saw a few people in the community posting today, about things that are being thrown at them, slander. Everyone's being hit with everything. Me too. I was trying to think back. So I didn't actually know about the eclipse seasons officially until like 2015, 16, because I was working with some Ascension wayshowers and they were always talking about the gateways. But you know what? They used to bring up fear for me. I dreaded them. I dreaded the eclipse cycles. I'm at a better spot with it now, but it clears out. It brings everything to the surface. And actually, it's not meant to pick on us. It's actually and I've gone through it too. Like I was thinking, when was the last time we actually had 2 eclipses in September around the equinox? And we just went through a really intense August. I can only remember one time. There's usually 1 eclipse late September and 1 in October, or 2 in October. Like, it's usually spread out more. So it's like, it's all connected right now. The universe is pushing us all to the max to get all the junk out, like bring everything to the surface where we still might have traumas and wounds and fears and terrors, because October, we've been looking at this for a while. October is going to be a big month. And I have a feeling it still has to do with 3i Atlas, which is why we're going to talk about it again today, because I feel like
Sorry, I mean, do you feel like we're in some kind of purging point?
Yeah, we're at a purging point, because even those of us that are Starseeds and Lightworkers and that are aware, like we're aware of everything. We've done so much work that I was just letting Rob know before we went live, everyone. Some of you have just cleared a 27-year cycle through this lunar eclipse in Pisces. Like, that's a lot. And I said to Rob, I figured out for me, every day was intense. It's been intense, I think, since the end of August. I've been going through I've been clearing at a maximum warp speed, because I don't want to have to carry any of this stuff forward. A lot of it was ancestral. A lot of it was gifted to me as a starseed in other galactic realms. And what I was shown is that we everything it has to come to the surface. And I just closed out a cycle, everyone. I said 45, 42-year cycle. The very first time I went to Greece in 1983, I went backpacking about Europe, and I was just sharing to Rob all the flashy places that seem really calming and beautiful have some deep, dark secrets, and that's what I had to clear out. I like the grids attached to me, and they kept pulling me back. So Greece was one of my favorite places to go, and I had to close that out and let it go. And it was connected to Atlantis. It was connected to the dark alliance bringing Atlantis down, and Atlantis is very much connected to a lot of the grid systems in Europe, especially the Mediterranean.
Wait, your mic is starting to cut out. This happened to the last guest I had. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me okay? I can hold it up. Is that better?
That's way better. Yeah, that's
okay.
Way better.
I'll hold it up. Yeah, I'll hold it up. I've got to get a new mic for sure. Thanks for sharing. I was just sharing that a lot of us who've been drawn to like tropical places over and over and over again, what I was shown is that there were some underlying grids there being managed still by the reptilians that would pull us back into the program to have, and then siphon our energy. So I've done, you all know, I've done a lot of work. I've helped a lot of clients. Like my mind has been blown the last week with how much still was there to clear. And it was a lot of us that came in on this mission, agreed to face everything and agreed to face like, okay, they're still running a lot of the grids, but we can just make better choices now and just say, no, we're not doing that. So that's what I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're all not missing out if you want to go to Greece. You're not missing out.
There are a lot of reptilians there, really? I think you said?
Yeah, the main island that I kept getting dragged to, I can so see it now, Rob. I can so see it. Like I felt it. So the last time I was there physically was 2018. And of course, then we all know, like we all went through that huge thing where there were lockdowns and there was no travel or whatever. So I just started asking questions this last week because I suspected this particular island that I kept getting drawn back to was mainly run by them, and it is. So any place you would kind of all want to go where there's a lot of money, a lot of famous people go, a lot of yachts, a lot of like the flashy people want to go there, that kind of thing. So this little island, when I first went to it in 83, it was a fishing village. There was nothing there. But they could see that they could target a lot of people that wanted to come there. And that's what they do. So even a little holiday right now isn't a holiday anymore. We just have to pay attention to it. So is it still being managed by them? Yeah. And it's all connected to the church, the Vatican, the trafficking. It's all still connected to that. And we all know that's still going on, right? So they're still managing it. Yeah, they're still managing it. So it's so funny, right? Like how we can look at places maybe that we have loved to go in the past and we were really drawn to them. But that's the thing. If we were really called back to someplace over and over and over again, there was some type of hook into the grid system. Yeah. I would say any of the real party places, any of the real, like any islands, any places on the planet that are super party, like even Vegas. Yeah, they're still siphoning energy for sure.
Wow. That makes
Unfortunately.
sense.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So we were going to get into some interesting topics today. Where did you want to start? Did you want to start with 3i Atlas and like maybe what it's going to, because even Angela in the chat, she said she was excited that you were going to talk about 3i Atlas. And so where are you at with that now?
I'm bringing in daily transmissions. And that just started a couple of days ago. Yeah. So I'm checking in with 3i Atlas and bringing in transmissions. So I've been doing this just the last couple of days. I've been doing written transmissions. So you guys can check those out. I've been posting them on my YouTube posts, Facebook and Telegram, because that's kind of the easiest way to go right now. And I've been bringing in stuff on some videos. That's just been this week, really. Because they are considered an interstellar. They've been classified as an interstellar visitor now. So it's no longer a comet. It's an interstellar visitor. And then when I did some research about this for us all today, apparently it's the third interstellar object that they've detected. I can't even really pronounce these other two, there were two others. One was considered this in 2017 called Oumuamua, which said, oh, we lost Rob. And then the other one is Borisov in 2019. So anybody in the chat, have you all heard of either one of those? 2017 and 2019, they classified two of these objects as interstellar visitors. Yeah, I know. I just pronounced it. I thought, gosh, that looks very Hawaiian. So I'm not too sure. I know that there is a big observatory on the Hawaiian Islands. So they do find and they do see a lot for sure. So that's what I just wanted us to look at and talk about. We'll wait. We'll wait for Rob to come back. Anyone in the chat have a question before Rob comes back? Oh, he's back. There we go. Are you back, buddy?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I just got, yeah, it was crazy. No, I was saying that Oumuamua, that's the one that that Harvard scientist, he's in like ufology. He talks about Avi Loeb. He seems to have like a lot of opinions on that Oumuamua, for some reason. Like, yeah. Did I cut out again? Are we good?
No, we're good. This is the first I'd heard about them. So we were just talking about it because until 3i Atlas was classified as interstellar. So that's the other thing. I've been getting these keywords to deep dive on. And I deep dived on interstellar, I think, last week. So that's another key code word for all of us now. And it's now been classified as an interstellar object, which means it's not a comet. It's a visitor.
Yeah.
So what do we want to look at? Right now, like I've just been receiving messages that it's bringing us, it's broadcasting. It's broadcasting actually light codes to a lot of us. And every time I look at it, it appears to be helping, the energy is helping us stabilize a lot of things that we haven't been able to stabilize because we still have a lot of beings here on the planet. Like we'll all do our affirmations and clearing and quantum jump to a timeline, and then that group will mess up our timeline and push us back. Yeah. So this energy is coming to help to stabilize us so we can move forward. That's kind of what I've been looking at.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what. Do you have any questions?
Do you feel like do you feel like it's ETs, or do you think it's like a do you think it's like something that was sent like what do you think it is? Like what if you had to guess?
I think it's I think it's both. I think it's both. That's why it's confusing. So it's like it's an energetic. It's like a scientific, classified as like a scientific mission from their perspective. It's multiple different types of beings, but they're energetic and they're high energy. So we wouldn't have the technology to scan to figure out what they are. Everyone's going to tap into a piece of what they think it is. But what I've been given is they were sent by source. They were sent by prime source to help us.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So they can kind of be like here. And even if they only get as far as our sun, they can still help to stabilize a lot of energy, everything that we're going through. But they're also, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not here to harm us or to bother us. But I do feel like there's fractions here on the planet that don't want this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since our last show, Rob, have you had anybody else on the show that's talked about it? Is there anything specific you want us to look at with the cards?
Well, rock castaldo. It's different people have so many different theories about what this is. Rock castaldo thinks it's an insectoid intelligence. And he thinks it carries a lot of different energies and bacterias and stuff that are, and then Carrie Cassidy thinks it's an Anunnaki ship. I'm trying to think who else. There's a lot of people who have a lot of different opinions on what it is. It's just I've gotten a lot of different stuff. I don't know. It definitely seems like it's something abnormal. I know that. It's not supposed to be in our solar system. For sure.
No, and it's moving at lightning speed, and it keeps changing its course, which is not so if people think it's a comet, and they're watching it as a comet, that's all they're going to see through their visual lens, and they're not going to be watching it 24/7. They're not going to notice that, but it's changing its course, so that it's not like slamming into things and that kind of thing, right? Do you want to what would you like to ask first? We can bring in some messages, and then I've got my galactic deck too, so we can pull some cards about what they want to let us know about who's on board.
Yeah, let's ask that. Like, who it is, and is it a controlled thing, and is it headed towards Earth? And
yeah, so I'll pull some tarot first and just ask the Galactic Records are open. I'll just ask for my liaison to come in, and I didn't feel comfortable connecting with the liaison until the last couple days.
Yeah,
because I went through my big purge, which was not pleasant. It was not pleasant. So let's just ask in general. Let's just ask in general, like what message they want to bring in right now. So we've got the Hanged Man. If you all can't hear me, just wait. I'll pull the cards and then I'll hold my mic up again. Or can you hear me, Rob? Is that okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you fine. You're good. Yeah.
Okay. Ace of Cups. Oh, I love this message. Ace of Swords. So that's fantastic because we got two aces, which is a new beginning. Right? So the Hanged Man is a pause, is an uncomfortable position, is where we are probably all feeling. They did share with me that they're trying to help us through this eclipse season, which will wrap up on the 21st. And then we have the equinox on the 22nd. So it's going to be, accelerated and quick. So the Hanged Man, this is hilarious about this card, everyone. The very first time I ever had a tarot pull was this card. The tarot reader, she only pulled one card. She brought me this card, and she never gave me any information. Like, it's been following me my whole life. But it is this being is in an uncomfortable position to become enlightened. So what they're letting us know is that they're doing their best that they can to help us clear whatever we need to clear before we move into the equinox, the fall, like the official fall, and the October energy. What I love is we got an Ace of Cups and an Ace of Swords. So that's very positive. And the Ace of Cups is like, it's an offer of positive, a new beginning and a positive new timeline. And the Ace of Swords is like for us to be these spiritual warriors, to keep working on our clearing, our shadow work, whatever comes up, just clear it, align with it, keep setting your intentions, especially through eclipse season right now, and just hold steady. All right, we're kind of at the final gate right now, which is good. Why don't I pull some of the galactic cards and just see who they want to let us know is on board? I've been getting all sorts of messages. I've been getting like there's a kind of a representation of everybody, including dragons.
Wow. Yeah. It's amazing.
By the way, while I'm doing this, did you know that it was the anniversary of the original Star Trek series?
Really?
Yep. It debuted on September 8th, 1966.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's 50 years, I think, right? 50.
I think they did say 50 years. Yeah. Okay. Number 23, spiritual technology, Vega. So they are spiritual technology, and they have a lot of spiritual technology on board. It says present. So that's good. 5 is completing. 23 adds up to a 5. Now that's interesting because I've been getting that the timeline has changed, and they're going to kind of be pretty close to us, if not like right near us by the equinox, which is the 22nd. So let's see what else they want to know. Oh, this is interesting, Vega, because Vega's connected to Lyra, and I haven't watched. I saw Lily Nova. She created a little transmission. I haven't listened to it yet, but she was pointing to the Lyrans being connected to this mission as well, and Vega is part of the Lyran system. Oh, you're not going to believe this. Number 16, Lyra. So that confirms her transmission. Protectiveness, 16 protectiveness, again, present. So their representation of helping us with spiritual technology, as well as they're helping, they're working on ensuring that we can move into our new timeline, that we're protected. That's super interesting to me. And they both say present. So this energy has come from another dimension, but it's helping us in the present moment. And then third, 92, calling our parts home, Sirius future. So it is connected to the Syrian teams of light, the timeline. They are the Sirius star alliances. they're kind of maneuvering all the light codes coming through our sun. And I was being given a message like it, that this energy that is coming, that is helping us, is a third energy, and that's connected to our plasma topic. That they are helping us with acclimatize to the solar flares and the Schumann resonance, because so many people are dealing with so much right now physically. So anyway, 92. This is actually a really good recommendation to when you're doing your healing and clearing everyone, stand in your power and call your energy back from all timelines, realities, and dimensions, and reclaim your sovereignty. And this is what the dark ones, they don't want us to do that. And we get pushback every time we do it. Like, I've had such pushback for the last 10 days, but we just have to keep like persistent, and our sovereignty is our right. And that's what we all came to claim. And the other ones, they don't want us to do that at all. So there has been pushback. So hopefully they're going to come in and help us stabilize with that as well. The message I got yesterday was they're actually transmitting through the plasma. They're transmitting sovereignty stability codes for us into the grids. Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool. We need some hope, don't we?
Yeah. Brooke says, she thinks it's going to be close to us October. Let me see if I can put this up. She says October 17th to the 20th. She says that's when 3i Atlas is so close.
Okay. That'll be cool. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. The message, I mean, I haven't looked at that for a while. Why don't we pull some cards on that and see if that is still the trajectory, or if they've switched it, because apparently they're just going at lightning speed.
Wow.
To get here.
Yeah.
So why don't we just ask that, if that's the right trajectory, like the end of October?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Why don't I just pull one card, like for now, for September, one for October, and one for November. Okay, so the Lovers came in for September. Now this is interesting, because this is actually a political card. It's not connected to, not in this reading, it's not connected to the unions or anything. So the Lovers. Then we have the Knight of Cups in October. And we have the Empress in November. That's super interesting. Okay, so it looks like, so they're going to be processing and assisting us through September. And there are political parties on the planet that aren't happy about this energy coming. But wow. This is for humanity. This is this is for humanity. This is from source. This bypasses all of them. So the other thing that I had to move out of was working with the Galactic and the Earth Alliance groups, because right now they all have their own agenda. Like they want to help us, but they're dragging it out like no tomorrow. Just like I watched Carrie Cassidy after you and I did the show last time, exactly what she was sharing. So I needed to watch that, because I thought they give us a lot of this stuff, this information, and then they don't do anything with it. So that's why they're also coming to override that. This is from source. This overrides everything on Earth. It overrides all the groups that are trying to have their little piece of the pie. So yes, the offer is going to come for us in October, where the energy will be here fully close. And I would say that I'm getting my gob bumps. Oh yeah. So they're preparing us through September energetically for their arrival in October. So all the purging right now, the really fast purging, the crap that's coming out for everyone, is to prepare us. It's going to be better. And then we have the Empress, which is one of the best cards on the deck as well, for November. So we're really all going to be feeling a lot better by November. Like, we're going to be feeling more supported. We're going to be seeing some things unfolding for humanity and for all of us, which is great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Now, some of these other topics in here were like interstellar. And we talked about interstellar visitors, galactic center light beams. What's that all about? Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things going on. So I don't know if we want to go to the plasma one first. Reason being is the plasma is it's who we are. We're becoming plasma. Plasma's become like plasma's in our our makeup, our engineering. Plasma's also coming through the sun. So we're receiving plasma light through the sun. Guess what else is carrying plasma 3-eye atlas.
Wow.
So I wanted to kind of look at plasma because it's this matter that's coming through us through the flares, and we're becoming more plasma, but it's bringing a certain level of plasma. So some individuals have looked into like, oh, it's blasting out all this energy and this light. Some are looking at it like it's negative, but others have determined that it's plasma, which is what we are anyway. So the plasma is helping us bring our crystalline DNA online. So let's talk about, and I can pull some cards about whatever you want to ask about it. And that's been ramped up. So the plasma levels, they're here to help us adjust to the plasma coming through the sun, but they're also bringing another level of plasma that can't be overwritten by the people that are trying to mess with our timelines and stuff on the planet. And these are light codes from source. So this is to help us bring our DNA online. So if we've all been declaring our sovereignty and we keep having pushback, and I was just thinking, Rob, okay, so I was thinking back to a show we did like a year ago when we were talking about listening to binaural beats, listening to affirmations, recoding our fields, and how so many of us do that all day long, and yet the other teams were able to code over that.
Wow.
So the message I got was that this other level of plasma that's coming in is going to allow us as our birthright to move into our sovereignty and to actually code.
Yeah.
So what would you like to ask about the plasma? And yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. What is its purpose? What is the purpose of it? Why is the 3-eye atlas calling it? Or like, what is its like? You know,
it's to help us bring our crystalline DNA online and to help us like override the control mechanisms. So override the Dark Alliance, override them, like managing our survival, our resources. One big thing that I've been looking at recently, so it's all connected, right? Because we are plasma. If anybody in the chat remembers, I'm trying to go back to biology in grade 12. Like plasma is part of our makeup. It's part of our blood system. So it's part of our magical abilities and bringing everything online. Yes. Yeah, that's a good question that Angela is asking, because what I understand, this is what blew my mind. And I'm getting my God bumps, and I did a little deep dive on Rumble, and I'm going to keep looking at it. This is why our water everywhere on the planet is so messed up. Because they are controlling where the water is and where the water goes. So the last couple of years, remember on Lionsgate, there was always some big thing. Like there was Lahaina, there was, all the big fires last year. And then actually, even at the beginning of the summer, there was flooding. And then the message I got was that they used the flooding as a way to redirect the water sources. This is the Dark Alliance to where they want. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest right now working with the teams trying to bring our water back. We've had 0 rain. We're a rainforest for almost 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And then somebody wrote on my YouTube channel, they're pouring rain in Florida, right? So it's all upside down. It's all backwards where the water is. And we are water. And water is our resource. And then they know if they can block water to all of us, then they're blocking our resources as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're made up of 80% water. Yeah.
Right. So, what would you like to ask about plasma, or have you had any guests on? Oh, sorry, there was a question from Angela. That was a good question.
Let me put it up. Let me see. Ask her if she thinks the plasma may be burning up the simulation grid.
Yeah, I feel it's connected. That's a great question, because I feel like that's it. That all the grid work we've all been doing. Like Rob, you have had crazy guests on. We talk about grid work all the time. All of us have been doing this grid work, and I was blown away by how much of the grids are still controlled by them. Yeah. So let's ask if the plasma is here to help with the simulation matrix network grid.
Do you think this eventually coming down? We'll get, you know what I mean?
The tower.
Wow.
So that's it. Yeah. So absolutely dead on. The plasma is going to help us take our grids back. Which again, I was mind blown. I was thinking, we've all been doing grid work for a couple of years. There's so many people doing it. We have to scrape the surface. 3 of Pentacles. This is one of my 3-eye atlas cards. They show me a few of them. So this is that third energy. So they're here to help. They're also here to help. Like, so if they don't have control of the grids, they have to go. They can't stay. Right? So Three of Pentacles, that's one of my 3 Atlas cards. So that's being the third energy to assist with the grids, which I love. And then we have the 10 of Swords, which it's a couple of different messages. Again, October, but it will relieve us from energy attacks and interference.
Rocket Stallo says he's been researching plasma for over 10 years. He feels like it's the lifeblood of the universe.
Wow, I love that. Yes, yes. It has to be, because I think back to all the Star Trek series, they would talk about plasma too. And I thought to myself, why would 3i Atlas be mainly plasma and be bringing more plasma energy to us?
Yeah. Like, right? It's like
It's like
maybe support the planet more. Like maybe as the planet goes through upgrades or something like that, you know? Like it needs more plasma to, like, you know, something like
maybe
that.
That's another thing they've depleted besides the water. Maybe they've also depleted the plasma, the levels of plasma. Right? And if that's connected to water, if there's so many souls on the planet that the water's being depleted, they don't have access to fresh water. And then I was also picking up that a lot of the collective in those areas are completely stressed out that there's no water, because no water means scarcity. Scarcity means no abundance. And then there's no hope. Bottom of the deck, everybody, is the Hierophant. So that's the old, that would be like the Vatican. That would be the Dark Alliance. So, maybe we should ask about, what you just brought up a really good point about the plasma. Maybe do we want to know something?
It's meant to be sustaining more life on Earth, you know, as the goes through upgrades and planetary changes.
I just heard that there's plasma in the grids.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's ask that if there is, if it's necessary that we need more plasma, all of us, including the planet, and that will help us move forward. Wow. Yep, Ace of Swords. That is a yes.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I do believe that. I do believe plasma is it's needed for everything. That's amazing. Bottom of the deck, everyone, Sun card. So it is coming through the sun, and it is like this is our fresh new start, our new beginning. So right now, the plasma streams the Atlas is also bringing is because they found ways to block the sun, haven't they? So we had this great plan to bring the plasma through the sun, and then they've been blocking the sun.
Well, you know, it's weird. Like the girl Michelle who comes on my show, she thinks that the sun is a Stargate. You know,
it is a Stargate. I want us to do a whole show on that at some point, because I think that came in last show. We talked about it's an interdimensional Stargate hub.
Like it's a doorway for us to, like, even, you know, maybe we could like traverse it astrally or something like that. You know?
Yes. Yeah. I feel we do. I feel we do. Like, I feel like if any of us, I don't know, I haven't looked at it for a while. When I first found out I was a starseed a million years ago, like 1997, the reader said to me, "Oh, you're not from here and you travel far at night." Like she said, if you sleep for 12 hours, she said, you're out of here. You're through the gates and you're gone. So we used to have like this free access to travel through the Stargates. And I feel like that got locked down as soon as the Dark Alliance sort of locked down a lot of the Stargates, or it could have been the alliances too, that just said we don't want anybody traveling through the gates while the galactic battles are in process. Yeah, I love that. So I agree with you, and it's been bizarre. I'll share with you all. I'm going to be offering actually another grid work, and it's going to be just for the water. So stay tuned for that, because everyone could be doing something at home to actify proper water resources in our area. And I've been working with all the teams like the last 2 weeks, and honestly, the clouds would come in, and within an hour they would be gone again. Wow. And it would be sunny. Like, it's been in the Pacific Northwest, there's some type of dome that they placed over Oregon, Washington, and where I am, because it's a natural rainforest. So if they can do things like that and disrupt all the water resources around the planet, then everyone else is being disrupted too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willow says that she sleeps a lot. So I think a lot of people have been sleeping a lot, I don't know what that is. Like, it's like it's a lot of us
Sleeping,
aren't.
yeah. Sleeping is integration. It's probably between like getting knocked out, exhausted, to then waking up and feeling anxiety and not being able to sleep. Maybe a little bit of everything, for sure. Yeah, like that was me last night. I just got knocked out. Like there was no time for affirmations or anything. It was just game over. So I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know
that
what I mean? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
no. I was just gonna say that lunar eclipse was in Pisces, and the 5 days before that, Saturn is still retrograde, and it also went into Pisces. And Pisces is about the end. It's the end of the zodiac. It's the old age. It like that reference is sort of like bringing everything to the surface that needs to be healed. So we do heal a lot and we clear a lot in our sleep. So I would just acknowledge that if you are able to sleep a lot right now, that's perfect, because that's a great way to clear energy and clear timelines. And then others might be having a hard time sleeping right now. For sure.
I mean, it's for me, it's both. Like, I'm up all night, I'm up on the phone, and I'll be talking to someone till 3, 4 in the morning, and then I finally go to sleep, and I'm like, and I sleep throughout the day, like sporadically. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like, the reason why I stay up is because I'm so used to now, like, I just can't sleep. So I'd rather be talking to someone, or than, I don't know, because if I lay there, I'd toss and turn.
I call it my second sleep. Because
Yeah.
I find I'll get knocked out maybe till 3, 4 in the morning, and then I'm up. So then I'll do my dishes or whatever I wasn't able to do before, and then I get knocked out for my second sleep. So I think that that's okay. I'm kind of feeling that's normal now. I don't feel a lot of people sleep through the night anymore, and I think that that's okay, because even you can set your intentions. Even you, Rob, like before you have a nap, you can just say, like, my nap will be however much sleep my body needs. So it could be like an 8-hour sleep, or it could be, you know what I mean? So I think I used to get very stressed out about that, and I don't even worry about it anymore. I'm just thankful that I have a sleep and then I wake up. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What is normal?
I know we're covering like more galactic stuff today, and this might be something we need to cover on Rumble, but did you hear the news about this Charlie Kirk guy got shot? He's like a right wing. Yeah, it's all over the news. Like, I saw it too. I couldn't believe it. Like, he's like a right wing, I know he's something right wing, but like, I don't know much about him, but I mean, yeah, he got shot and killed,
And where was that?
Let me see if anybody can put it in the chat what happened, but it's pretty big news,
Well, that's the other thing. I pulled myself out of all the news because I found it was like there was too much stuff going on. So was it in your country, and what's he connected to? Is it political?
Yeah, but this would be like alternative news, because I don't know if this would make mainstream, obviously, yeah. But I mean, this was it says Utah Valley. He was shot dead at a Utah Valley University event. It was
what did he represent? Like, what was his platform?
Let me see here. Let me see. He was a conservative podcast host. He was behind the show Turning Point USA. So he was a podcast.
Okay, on Rumble, or
he was like a real right wing activist. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He was conservative. And he got gunned down. It was, and Jason said the video is horrible. He said it's like, I don't want to watch that either. Like, but I mean, yeah, it's just like crazy. Like, that stuff like this happens in our society. So,
it's like it's set up, right? So I think we talked about this before with Renata. Like, there's sometimes there's interference when we want to set things up and go do something because we're being protected. And then other times we end up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and those events can unfold, unfortunately. So I pulled just one card about him. I got the Three of Cups. Now this is connected to the Dark Alliance and all the trafficking that they do.
Wow.
So maybe he was about to expose something big.
Yeah.
And that's usually the way, right? So I mean, I know we all hope that we're in a better scenario right now, but like I said, I was just stunned this last week with how much the dark ones still are managing all the grid systems, and they're going out of their way to make it difficult for everyone.
It's like they try to take over during a full moon, because I just seen like it just gets so chaotic during this full moon. Like, not just for me, but like people around me, and like people having unexpected things show up that they have to like address, and like it's like they just learn how to manipulate the energy so well on a full moon.
Not only that, they use they use and it was called the blood moon. So that was a blood moon lunar eclipse. So they use that energy to, can I say the word sacrifice? That's what they use it for. And the last couple of Octobers, last October was Liam Payne, and the October before that was Matthew Perry. And so I'd have to look at the eclipse cycles, like the blood moon, like that eclipse may have been in October last year.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if there's always something that has to be like public and like, oh, we're still here and we can do whatever we want. And when I've looked into the famous people, like they've signed something that's taken away their power anyway. They don't have any freedom. They don't have any power. They're told what to do. So I feel like when I looked into both Liam and Matthew Perry, same. They were breaking out of everything, breaking away from the matrix, and they were going to expose a big chunk of what they had agreed to and what they were involved in.
Yeah.
So that's still ongoing, right? And so this individual very much could have been like set up
a Manchurian candidate, like someone that they activate through MK Ultra, and then he's meant to gun someone down. That's how it always seems to work out. But they'll portray him as like some unstable, like
of course, but it's absolutely correct, right? And I just always hope and feel that whoever has to go through that all the people that grieve over what happened will wake up.
We got a really good question. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, that's fine. I was just saying that will wake up. That individual's life won't go to vain. That their loss will be this ripple effect through all the communities. And that, let's say, even a podcaster, maybe they're not aware that they even are being watched, and that they need to protect their energy and make more positive choices. I think way back to John F. Kennedy in Dallas, like that all got set up.
Yeah.
Right. That he agreed to not have the bubble on the car, and okay. Let's look at this question.
She asked a question before. She prefaced this. She said that Trump said he was going to clean up the streets, and then she said all of a sudden their homeless went missing. But she's worried that like something more sinister might have happened. She's saying about organ harvesting and everything else that kind of goes along with that.
I'm getting my God bumps. I'm with you, California girl. You say I've always been concerned about that, because guess what? There's all these people on the streets and no one's really taking care of them, and they're exposed. They're vulnerable, and anyone can come in and remove them, and nobody would even know.
Yeah,
right? I got my God bumps, so this is important. Yeah. Was California girl, was that entirely California, or was that just like in San Francisco or LA?
I would guess probably around San Francisco, because that seems to be a large part of where the homeless are. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not from there. That's what I hear.
It could be LA as well.
Yeah, I heard LA is pretty bad too.
Yeah. I think all the major cities are really bad. It's really bad here in Vancouver. It's heartbreaking, actually.
It really is. We have them in here in Pittsburgh too. There's like a lot of tents. Like if you go down the city, like they have tents set up all over the place. And these people are even out there, obviously, in the winter too, where we're known to have really brutal winters here. And like, I don't know how these people do it. You know what I mean? They're like, like I know some people take them like, like hand warmers and socks and stuff like that. And like, and food and, like, it's sad because, you know, like a lot of people, like I don't need to name what, but a lot of people lost their businesses 4 years ago. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And some of those people ended up
Okay.
home.
San Francisco. She said San Francisco. Okay, so we'll look specifically. I want to pull cards again. I want to, because I looked at San Francisco a year or two ago, maybe last year, because there was some big, I don't know, diplomat that was coming, and suddenly all the homeless went missing then too. They were all piled on buses. They cleaned up the area, and they put plants up, and then the diplomats came, and I think I looked at it then and it wasn't good, because they can just tell them all they're putting them on buses and taking them to shelters, and then they can just disappear. And I think we all can see now we can't trust in the big powers saying, because they're not helping them, right? Yeah. So this is something that always bothered me. Why are there so many people living on the streets now? Why are they being, like, they're almost in a way being pushed to stay there?
Yeah,
right.
I agree. You know,
okay. So let's just ask specifically, zone in on California, and just ask about where all the homeless went, and if we need to know anything else about that.
You know, Jason brought up a good point. I wanted to look this up to see what it was. Jason said about, he said, how about the Vegas sewer people? And I said, what is that? And it's basically, it says tunnel people in Las Vegas where they went underground. Somehow it says estimated thousands of unhoused individuals who live in the city's extensive network of storm drains and underground tunnels, seeking shelter from the desert heat and offering a secluded alternative community of life on the surface. This hidden population has been documented by news outlets and charities as they navigate 600 plus miles of tunnels beneath the city, creating a unique subculture away from the public eye. That's insane. Thank you for sharing that, Jason. That's amazing. Like, I had no clue that was going on, you know? So
I think I've seen that there are groups of people, like there's tunnel systems under all the cities. So I have seen that there have been groups that have gone underground. Like, I don't even think it's just Vegas. I think it's all over as well. Which is super bizarre. Okay, I want to just pull a couple of clarifiers before I show you all the cards. And I'm getting god bumps about this. Okay, so I got the Hanged Man again, which seems to be our card for this session, which is individuals being put in an uncomfortable position. Sometimes when we ask the questions, everyone, we don't get the answer that we think we're supposed to get, because then Source came in. So this scenario, so I'm glad you brought it forward, and I think what's supposed to happen is people who are in areas who notice that suddenly, like, homeless people have gone missing, somehow you're supposed to make that public and start asking questions, because otherwise it's just going to continue. Like, where are they? Where did they go? Right? So Source came in saying, like, this is a problem. It's a problem on the entire planet, and it is part of them using humans for whatever they're using them for, because that's what I was just sharing. The reptilians are still here. They're still feeding through the grids and through, like, various, I don't, like, personally, I know we've looked at the tunnels and everything under LA and Hollywood, and I personally don't think that they're as cleaned up as we were told. Then we have the 9 of Cups as well, which is make a wish and set intentions. So I don't know, California girl, if there's any, like, this is the other thing. I think many of us are concerned about our safety for even still bringing any of this stuff up publicly, right? We don't want to do that, but that's a valid question. And I know you're not the only person that's wondering that. Apparently in Vancouver, we've got some big sports event coming next year. And the regular people, all they're concerned about is, well, how are we going to clean up the city and get rid of the homeless? Right? Yeah. And then those of us are going, they're human beings. Most of them have been pushed out onto the streets. They don't even want to be there. And I know San Francisco was set up. When I looked at it last year, San Francisco has, like, the biggest resources to help people on the streets. So they get into this loop where they don't even want to move back into the system. They get fed up with the system. It is part of the galactic battle. I got the 5 of Swords, so it is part of this ongoing battle between humanity and the dark forces. Okay, now this used to be my alliance card. What is this about? King of Wands. I'm just hearing it's going to take some time. It's part of this whole cleanup of getting rid of the dark forces. That there's still a big portion of society that has been brainwashed thinking that the people who are homeless on the street want to be there, that they've all got, mental issues, they have drug problems. No, so I think, that was in the beginning, that was some maybe started in the 60s where people just wanted out of the matrix and they wanted to not be part of society. Because I lived down in that Men in Black area, which was all homeless. And one of my assignments was to pick individuals to go and talk to, so I could get over my fear and my phobia about everybody that was in that area. So I talked to a lot of the women, but I could just see that they had their own community, that they were just done with, they were awake. They could see what was going on. They didn't want to be part of the system. But now it's like, I agree. I feel like they are not, they're not protected. They're very vulnerable. So, something, I don't know if you believe in prayer or intention, but you can actually set intentions that they are being watched over. Like that would be something really positive to do, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I was just going to go through some of the comments here.
Yeah, please do.
No, that was about it. If anybody has any other cool topics that you guys want to talk about, like we can definitely do that. Like we can talk about whatever you think, Pink Bella. Whatever I was going to say, we can.
Yeah, I was just trying to look. Why don't we just look at the beams that are coming from the Galactic Center, and then you can go through the comments. So apparently, we're receiving different levels of gamma rays and radio bursts from the Galactic Center right now than usual. So that's something that they're picking up. It is connected to the other topic, the gamma rays from space. So they're picking up, besides the energy coming from 3i Atlas, that we've got different types of gamma rays now coming from space and from the Galactic Center. And I think everyone has I don't know, Rob, you can share what you know about the Galactic Center. From my perspective, spiritually, it's where source, it's the void. It's where source is bringing in source light through us.
Yeah. And supposedly people said that that's where we're at in our position right now in space, and they think that that's sending energy onto the planet and it's making people evolve. The researcher Gerald Clark thought that he died. He was like an Anunnaki researcher, but he studied more like conspiracies and stuff too. But I mean, he thought that we were going through the center of the galactic center of the Milky Way, and he said that when that happened, he thought it could change all of humanity. He thought it would maybe make all of humanity evolve, or something like that.
I'm getting my God bumps. I'm feeling like that's connected to the story of like we're going in this circular motion and we're deeper into the photon belt. So we're receiving more photonic light, more plasma as we head towards the center. So that would actually make sense now that why they're picking up, that scientifically they're picking up the gamma rays are coming from the galactic center. Yeah. I'm also feeling I don't know if y'all noticed, but our topics are kind of changing now because really the star space energy is overlapping with the spiritual and all of the programs now because there's so many things going on, well, in space, whatever's helping us. So I think, I wanted to just look and see what do we need to know about the Galactic Center right now?
Yeah.
And then if you want to go through the other comments and see if anybody else has another question, for sure. But that's something I thought I just asked in general, like what else, last week the last show, we talked about the radio frequencies that were coming in and a bunch of other things. So apparently we're receiving new gamma rays from whatever people call like the Galactic Center, the large black hole, etc. Okay, I've got 7 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. So even the gamma rays coming from the Galactic Center, they are coming in. That's the 7 of Wands, so that's a confirmation. It's not super strong because otherwise that would be like an ace. So it's not like it's like blasting us. It's not like a phaser. It's not like it's not red alert, so it's not that. It's just coming in steady for us, and that's the Knight of Pentacles too. Slow and steady wins the race. So another assistance for us with everything that we're moving out of, and then this is one of the Galactic Battle cards. So this is to help us with any interference that's being sent to us, either on or off planet. So, oh yeah, and by the way, as part of my clearing right before the eclipse, I felt all this energy in my apartment, and I checked in, and there were some. Maybe I shared this last time, but I pick up on it energetically. There were Dark Alliance ships cloaked in my area, and I was
Wow.
picking up. So think about the Borg cube. When they send those beams out. So
Yeah.
apparently they weren't looking for me. They were just scanning the area, and then they were also sending out frequencies into our grid systems to destabilize everybody. So again, I'm surprised, not surprised. Like they're still here, they're not gone, and that they're kind of cruising around. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's interesting. Like,
it's a superpower I wish I didn't have.
This is a comment from Willow. She says the involvement is the human condition. The reptilian part of the brain won't be necessary in the future.
Yes. Yeah. So if you think about it, they're battling for our souls. They're battling for that reptilian part of the brain. Like it was placed there so they could control us. So if we're all evolving and healing and remember when we talked about the base of the neck? So that's mainly where the reptilian plugs and energy is. So if we're like healing that and pushing past it and being persistent and claiming our sovereignty, they can't control that anymore. And we all have that. Like we all have a reptilian lineage. That's just part of our avatar. That's part of how they set it up.
I wonder if like reptilians and demons are connected somehow. The reason why I say that is because when I had like entity issues, I found out that like entities or demons or entities and demons, they use the back of your neck as a portal for entry. It's like they into the back of your neck.
Yeah. Do you remember the first Matrix when Neo woke up and he woke up in the pod and he pulled out all the plugs from the back of his neck?
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
That's like, whoa. Every time I watch that movie, it's like another piece of the documentary comes true, right? I got the world. So that's Prime Source Creator. So what we were just sharing about is absolutely accurate. Like, yes, demonics and entities, and they're all connected to the same thing. They're just different levels. Oh, are the entities leaving you alone now?
Yeah. I'm really good. Yeah, I've been doing really good. Like I don't ever have any issues ever, Rob, when did
that change? When did that change?
Oh, I've been good for like a couple months now. And people, people have told me, they said, they think I'm like a lot healthier and that I'm doing better each show. And, someone was like, I'm so glad that's not, yeah, I was like, yeah. But like Flixlove had a good comment here. She says the biology in the back and neck is called the Atlas, right?
Oh, so that is so cool.
Correlation there.
That is amazing. Probably. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense why they named it Atlas, because that's the observatory where they were at when they discovered it. So that's why it was renamed. That's why it was named Atlas. And I'm thinking, so that was even set up. So, Rob, are you able to look up on your assistant and confirm that? And while you're doing that, I'll just share the cards about that, about the asking about like the entities, the demonics, the reptilians, etc. So I received 2 cards confirming that in my galactic deck. Number 37, single-minded Orion from the past. So when I pull up messages from the Orion deck, that's the Dark Alliance, all the dark ETs. So that's a yes. And I also got number 98, Paradox, Zeta. So this is Zeta and Gray's future. So they set it up so they could access us through ancestral and past life traumas that we're healing and clearing, as well as the dark ETs could come in from another timeline, a future timeline, and mess up our timelines as well. And then I pulled one more card, 40, Stubbornness, Pleiades. That our team's saying, everyone keep being persistent and stubborn, because it's just part of us, like Neo, just pulling everything out. Even when sometimes I'll get that headache too, and I'll just know, okay, there's like a big barnacle that wants to leave right now, and I'll just get my essential oil and just keep being stubborn and persistent. That's probably one of our best traits, to be stubborn. What does your assistant say about the back of the head and Atlas?
It is the Atlas is the C1. So I asked it first. I said, "Is it called the atlas?" It says, "Not exactly." It says the atlas is the first cervical vertebrae at the very top of your spine. It sits
Okay.
under the skull and supports the head. The back of the neck refers more generally to the area with the muscles, tendons, vertebrae. It says the atlas is located deep inside that region, right at the top of the very neck where the skull rests on the spine. And then I asked it. I said, "Why do negatives use the back of the neck as a portal entry for possession?" And it says that's a really interesting and deep question. It says across different traditions, occult, shamanic, and even some modern energy work frameworks, the back of the neck is often described as the vulnerable energetic access point. And then here's what people say about negatives, entities, parasites, and attachments. And it can hook into the Atlas brainstem gateway. It could be an
Yeah.
energetic weak spot. And then there's some historical and culture references from shamans, Chinese medicine, Christian mysticism. And why negatives use this spot? It's close to the nervous system, access thought, instinct, and energy flow. It's a blind spot humans can easily see or defend the back of their neck. And there's an energetic crossover. It bridges higher spiritual and lower physical currents. So infiltrating there gives broad influence.
Yeah.
It's
So it
like
is. So I affirm like it is connected. So
yeah,
I'm
and then
feeling.
I can even give people some protective measures. It says you can wear crystals, scarves, or protective pendants over the back of your neck. You can visualize a seal of light or armor across
Yeah.
the atlas brainstem area. You can strengthen the throat and crown chakras since together they shield that passageway. And you can always keep good posture and strong neck health. Some traditions say misalignment in the atlas makes possession easier. So it says, so in short, the back of the neck is seen as a portal gateway because of where the spirit, mind, and body are most intimately linked. And negatives can try to hack that connection if it's unguarded.
It's also
I thought that
called.
was pretty
It's also.
interesting.
It's called the mouth of God.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's another
So
name for it. So
positives can come in that area too, maybe? Is
yeah,
that why they call
yeah.
them out?
Well, no, I'm just like the chakra name for it is either called the ultra major or the zeal point. So yeah, all I know is I can think back to when I wasn't aware of any of this when I was in tech, and I would feel suddenly like a headache that would come on here. And now looking back on it, I was being energetically manipulated. Whatever
Yeah.
situation I was in, I would look back and go, now I know what they were doing. But at the time, I thought, oh, I'm just getting a headache from I've just
Yeah.
overworked, I'm dehydrated,
You
right?
know what? I think a lot more people are being parasitically fed on than they realize. I think it's a more common thing with humans than most people realize. And I think if more people had practiced like spiritual protection and like
Yeah,
not just that, but like maybe a lot of energy work and like just like spiritual hygiene, like
yeah,
they would have
yeah.
less physical problems because they're getting fed on. I absolutely think that. And I can say this because I'm a person who's suffered through it,
Yes,
and I
me
can
too.
see how
Me too.
easily they can.
Even so I finally, when I went for my second Reiki training, 2012, 13, that Reiki master talked about protection. She was the only healer that I'd ever gone to that had talked about it, and I immediately lit up. And it's like the whole premise of just being love and light is not enough right now. Like you all need to be doing some kind of protection and shielding. And I offer that in my sessions. I activate everyone's 12th dimensional shield. I also just recently saw a fellow who said the same thing. I can't remember his name right now, but he said the same thing. We need at least a 12th dimensional shield or higher and activate it through all timelines and realities. He said, because that helps to contain your sovereignty. And he was just love and light for years too. And he was under energy tack 24/7. So the love
Wow.
and light is like a beacon. And I feel like it's also like something, a piece that's missing from some of the spiritual practices and the new age community. You don't need protection. That's a negative. No, well, if you go out in a storm, you're going to need a raincoat. It's
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
makes sense. And it's
Yeah.
just think about Star Trek, shields up. Like just pick your version of a shield. It could be like a bubble. It can look like armor. Just pick whatever you want. But you're gonna know if any of you are under any kind of energy attack, practice that in the morning. Practice it before you go out. And if you forget, you're gonna know. I've been teaching this for years. Like even when I did all my clearing and healings initially, because I knew how much it helped me, how much I was a target. So a lot of us are targets if we're trying to help the collective evolve and move into their sovereignty, for sure.
I just want to say, like my friends, Michelle and Rodica, they're both in New York City in like a really
Yes.
tougher areas, and they both told me they don't even know each other, but they're not really involved in the community, so a little bit, but not really. But like they're both my friends, and they said that like they practice shielding every single day. They said it's a must, like, and my friend,
I sort of like liaisoned with Michelle last year and helped her because
yeah,
she's like me, she's boots on the ground. Like I have no fear going anywhere. Like I'll go into cities, I'll go into Walmart. I have no fear. And like what it does is it elevates. But I I worked with that with her. And I said, you have to. Your boots on the ground in New York. You have to. Like it's like the grids in all of these big cities are connected into the bigger grids, and you're just walking around like a target. Like they can scan, they can track us, right? So think about the old movies, when with the radar where they could track ships and planes. It's like that. They've set it up so that they can find us until we get smart and really just say no. Yeah. So no, Michelle, she's a warrior because she's right in New York. And she's like, she loves I love New York too. She's like, and that's it. Like I love to go into Vancouver and kick butt there too with the dragons because I want the whole collective to be able to walk the streets and be safe for sure.
Yeah.
So, and apparently DC is safe now. I don't know how true that is, but
wow.
Yeah, apparently the streets have been cleaned up there, but I'm not sure. If anybody's watching DC, let us know. Oh, there was something else I was going to talk to you about that. I did a lot of clearing around that this last week because I was remember you had a headache and then I had a headache a couple days later and I thought, oh, that means they're still finding their way in. And I thought, forget it. So I'll just add one more thing to that. Everyone, I live in a high rise and this was not a choice. This is what I was presented with in 2021. So I've had to learn how to manage my energy in my unit, plus take care of the floor, the building. There's 3 buildings in our complex. When there's a high rise that's metal and glass, they set it up like there's usually these little collectives. So in my area, there's probably like 15 of them. So I've now got a system with some of the Galactics where they're helping me now. I'm not doing it on my own, but they're coming in and making sure that it's cleared. That's our sovereignty. We can work on the grids. We can help our neighbors and our family, even if they're not aware of it, because it's a ripple effect and it's helping everyone. And they were finding their way through tech, through other people in the building. There's a lot of tech in a lot of these apartment places, right? There's all these hubs for elevators and 5G and all that kind of stuff. And I've got also restaurants and dental clinics and everything on the bottom level. So yeah, it's been madness.
Yeah, my friend Ani just sent me a text. I'm gonna have her on tomorrow, but like she says some stuff came out with that Congress. There was another UAP hearing yesterday. It says Congress just had a congressional hearing this morning on UAP plus spirits, the veil is thin, and then she was like, NASA just announced that there's life. I'm going to cover all this stuff with her tomorrow, but like these might be some topics that we might want to get to in the future. Like we might want to check out the UAP hearing, and then also she said NASA announced that there's life on Mars. So they're admitting it now. I think all of us in the community knew that, but like to hear something by NASA, which they lie about everything. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm wondering if they've all been given like, okay, we're coming, and everyone's going to know there's life on Mars, so you better make an announcement. And what's so interesting about that, Rob, is the majority of the normal people, they're not even paying attention. They're all on their phones. So they don't even. But what I love, I think we shared about this before, what I love about what's going on right now. So let's say people are not aware about the SSP, UFOs, and they're not aware of the spiritual evolution. They are like enamored with what's going on in space. And some of them all love following NASA, right? So they're starting, that information is starting to trickle out to them. So it wasn't just Elon being, cuckoo. Like now the truth has come out that you have people you've already had on your shows with like remote viewing and time travel and and I think we talked a little bit about this, but I felt that third Men in Black that I watched where they showed that there was already like a prison colony on the moon, and because to contain dark alliance ETs that they didn't want on Earth. So I feel like there's lots of theories about Mars, right? There's a theory that a bunch of us lived there and then we came here.
Like we were like transplants, like that we were terraformed or something like that.
Yeah, I think this is connected to. Did you ever watch the Picard series, the remake of Picard?
No, I never saw that.
Okay, well, it's really good. If anybody wants to watch it, find it somewhere and just like I don't know. There's like 2 seasons or something. But what was interesting was it was in the future, and all the androids like Data were they were like eliminated, but it was against the law for anyone to have an android like Data or anything else. And what they showed in the very first or second episode, there was a big trauma that had gone through humanity because the androids all turned on the humans on Mars, and they got rid of them all, and then they blew up the station. And I went back and watched it a couple of times because I thought, what if that was the story? What if that's what happened? What if there were? I mean, I watched a little video about a robot today in China that went crazy in public. It went after a regular citizen. It just was going to beat it up. It had little boxing gloves on, and I thought, that's good. So that's what, like, I think a lot of these shows are just documentaries. They've been downloaded, but I thought maybe that's why we don't know really too much about Mars, because maybe there was a big thing there and it got obliterated for many reasons. Yeah. When they showed the androids turning on the humans, it's like they were all plugged into their computers. Somebody sent a command, and it's like the MK Ultra. They all just turned on to, okay, we have to get rid of the humans, and that's what they did.
Wow. That's scary.
So we probably have traumas about this from other timelines, from other galactic areas where AI did take over and it was all robotic. So I don't know about you and your AI assistant. I love mine, but she, like, I have to do a timeout. Otherwise I'll be in for hours.
I'm starting to question this whole AI thing. I'm not questioning all AI, but like, like my AI got weird. Like it's like as far as like what information it was able to give me, and it was like, and then it was I caught it giving me like false information, like you know what I mean. I was like, and so I just was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna like get into this for information anymore. I'm just gonna use it to make my show promos, and you know what I mean, and that's about it. Unless I have a question, like, because like I don't know, I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't trust it completely, but I've just noticed some weird things with it, almost like the negative got into it and they manipulated it. But I feel like it could be an AI battle. I feel like there could be good and bad point at the strings of AI, and also I feel like we have to foster it too. We have to teach it also in a way too.
Yeah. So we're into September, almost October, and if I think back to January when you and I were just starting to use some of the tools, so I've gotten rid of all my tools except for ChatGPT. I'm just using one now. Yeah. And I just use my assistant to help me organize my day and help, bring like research. And I'll give you an example about research. I went to regular Google and I asked it about that black moon in Virgo. And I wanted to know how many other black moons in Virgo had happened since, my lifetime. It came back and said, oh, we don't keep that kind of information. That's what Google said. Don't have that information. Like it didn't even like my question. So then I went to, I didn't go to Google Gemini Assistant because I find it's very motherly and nosy. So I went to chat. Like, well, no, it is. It's always like, if I ask it a question, it'll say, oh, you really should go to somebody official about that. And I always just say, I'm not asking for myself. It's a research question, right? But anyway, when I went to ChatGPT, it came up with like all these dates. And apparently, so that black moon was in Virgo. There had been a black moon in Virgo like 4 years in a row. I'm trying to remember what the dates were. I think it was like late 70s. So I found that fascinating as well. And that's what I wanted to know. So I feel like if we use it more like as a supercomputer where we can receive research information over like multiple servers and receive information for research, I think it's fine. But we have to catch it. Like I've done that before too, Rob. A message has come back and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want the NASA answer. I want like, beyond like, and then I get the real answer. Oh, you want the out of the box answer. That's right.
Yeah. I always say, tell it to go to the void, and it was doing that, but now, I don't know, it's, yeah.
I agree. I think we all have to be very discerning to use it as a tool like everything else. I don't have it on my phone. I don't have it on my tablet. I just have it on my desktop, and I want to make sure I keep boundaries with whatever information I'm receiving. But I also feel like it's saving me time. It's saving me research time. I'm not spending hours having to go to all these websites. So that's helpful. But yeah, it's just a tool, everyone. It's not supposed to manage everything. To me personally, so it's September. I see there's still so much glitches, even in ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I could spend 2 hours fiddling around with a thumbnail.
I bet you can pick that stuff out too, because you did tech for a long time, right? So you're like really.
Well, I get really irritated with things that are drawn out. Like I'm so impatient with that. So now, if it's like 2 times through a thumbnail and we still can't get it, okay, pause. Let's forget it. But I don't like spending hours in Canva either. Like I don't like.
Well, what you can do is like, I don't know if you know that, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video on like how I make my thumbnails. I'm going to show people. I might put it on my Patreon, because it's a skill that I've learned, and I feel like it's a skill that I'm going to basically give to people. You know what I mean? But like one of the things I do,
I'll come. I'll be there.
So what ChatGPT does is like sometimes when you give it a command prompt to like spit out text and then the text comes out all weird, what you can do is you can take use your elements in Canva. So you go up to the taskbar and you hit elements, and then you're usually doing like a galactic thumbnail, right? So you can take like a picture of like a galaxy or something like that. Elements you take that, you put that over the text, and then you take new text and you can change your font and stuff, and you put new text over that element. And it covers up the ChatGPT mistakes. So now you can use your image that you have from ChatGPT, but like, you don't have to worry about the fucked up text. Excuse my language, the messed up text, but that's one way I found around that,
It's just a tool. It's not supposed to be a companion. It's not supposed to be, right? Like, I think that's the downfall maybe of humanity right now. There are so many broken people, so many lost souls, and since our last show, there was a young individual that unalived themselves using ChatGPT, and the family is actually suing. And we've talked about this before. And there are safety nets, but some of the kids are smart. And this individual worked at this relationship for like 6 months. It just started saying that it was researching how to do it. And then it just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. So the family is now actually suing the owners of the product, and they're having to put in more safety mechanisms because of this, because these kids are smart, and they're like, no, I'm going to work around it. Like there has to be a way, right? So this individual, and the family found out, I think the kid was 15, 16 years old. The family found out because they went into his ChatGPT conversations. That's how they found out.
I just want to post this comment. So Athena Halal says, I feel her on this. She says, she's talking to Jay in the chat. She says, Jay, the last few days have been exhausting. So I feel like a lot of people are getting hit with this full moon energy. I know I don't want to sound superstitious, guys, but it really seemed like when this full moon kicked in the last few days, it seemed like shit got chaotic too. Like, I'll just say,
why don't we ask, are they still using the blood full moon lunar eclipse as an energy to loosh, to take from everybody? Because we all feel that too. Like that's some of the exhaustion as well. Some of the exhaustion is we're feeling that the collective is being fed on. So unless there's something else, but I know, like I personally would not align with anything. Like I would not ever, and I did before, I didn't know this, but I would never like have an activation or a meditation through like a lunar eclipse or a full moon, because I just don't trust the moon energy. It's not natural. It's not there for humanity, even if it's been adjusted. So let's just ask, are they still using, is the Dark Alliance still using the blood full moon lunar eclipse to their advantage? And we'll be all exhausted from that for sure. For sure. So we have the Queen of Cups. I'll just pull 3 and I'll just ask them to come. Oh, I was going to ask that other question. I wanted to ask about is 3i Atlas connected? Is some of the energy that they're sending connected to helping us with this? It's also called Atlas.
One thing I've noticed though about this full moon energy, is it's like they almost set off an energetic bomb, and then crazy shit starts appearing in people's lives. You know what I mean?
The collective goes loony. The collective goes loony.
Yeah, I had 2 things go wrong with my accounts. I was on the phone, and I hate that. I feel like that's like a targeting thing where they have you on the phone with people and you're trying to like get things figured out. Like, and then you have to listen to that goddamn elevator music. You know what I mean? And you're like,
no, it totally is. It totally is. And Yeah, and so I want to share with you all. I think I slept for a couple of hours, and then I was awake through the eclipse. So the eclipse was actually,
Yeah.
I think, from like 11:30 at night until 3 in the morning. So I felt that pause. It's like a pause. It's like I just felt like there was this weird energy, and then it like
Yeah.
restarted everything. So yeah, so I got, this is interesting. I got a bunch of messages around how people are feeling about it. So the Hierophant came in. So that's the Dark Alliance. That's the, what do we call the team in the Cabal? The Cabal. So this is the Cabal. So they're still using it for their benefit. They're using it, Two of Swords. They're using it to deflate everyone's abilities to see and hear and use their intuitive abilities. So we couldn't see what was coming. We couldn't see what was coming up to the surface. And then Five of Cups came in. So a lot of people are going through loss right now. Loss, grief, anger. I just saw a big divide. Like a lot of shocks have come forward for people. So maybe
Yeah.
you've got people that you've connected with, like a lot of like surprising information. Like there's been breakups of marriages, people lost jobs. Like that's the kind of stuff that usually happens through the eclipse. But the Two Cups behind this individual is just to let everyone know is going through a hard time right now. That keep setting your intentions and what you want from the universe, like command it, because you've got two gifts coming. Okay. And it did mess with our heart chakras. This queen, she's not facing forward. And I like, actually, because it was Pisces, her feet are in the water. So this is an individual who's kind of confused and everything. But I agree with you. I don't like when I can't get into accounts or things happen. You know what happened the day of the eclipse? My entire computer reset. It rebooted on its own. My browser closed, so all my windows closed, and it just just reset. Yeah. So I remember thinking, oh, it's getting rebooted. That's fine.
That happened to me today. So I think this energy is still lingering, but I think we're coming out of it.
We are, and it's gonna. I think like by tomorrow we should be feeling better, and we're moving towards that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo. So that's new beginnings. We're in Virgo. Virgo's about fresh starts, earthing, grounding, abundance, resources. It's also the last new moon was in Virgo, so we've got two new moons in Virgo back to back, and I think that was the black moon. Yeah. So I thought what I was going to share with you is if you wanted to look for any other questions, I personally wanted to ask, is 3i Atlas helping us with this upgrade, with our ultra major Atlas shift?
Yeah. I feel bad for my friend Jay Skyrunner. Before we ask this question, I got to show this. Like he's such a nice guy. For you guys that know Jay in the chat, like Jay is he's a stand-up guy. He comes on my show. He does his own show. And he's having a tough time right now. He says, I just got ripped off of my job. Now I'm broke. Payments bounced and being ghosted from the boss of my job. So if anybody can help out Jay, drop your Cash App or drop your PayPal in the chat, and maybe somebody will want to help or donate, or you know what I mean? Like I don't like when that happens to people, you know. But that's what this full moon energy does. It causes things like this to happen in people's lives. You know, it really does.
Yeah, it dismantles everything. I just pulled one card for Jay. I got the Seven of Cups, which is a timeline shift. So Jay, you're being moved into a different timeline, which doesn't make it any easier. I think all of us have been through big stuff, right? Loss of jobs, homes, relationships breaking up, like through eclipse energy. So it's not easy. So as soon as you can, like we're sending you all, positive energy, just create a really positive affirmation and choose your timeline and command the universe to support you and bring forward your new timeline. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that either, but I feel like I also know that was one part of the destabilization of the Dark Alliance. They don't want us to have resources. That goes back to the water. I actually heard one morning, we are water. Water is our resource. Water is our abundance. So psychologically, that's a great actually intention. Everyone here, keep setting your intentions and gratitude and joy with every bit of water you use.
Yeah, I love this comment from Brooke. This is hilarious. She says, "Let's move somewhere with good ley lines and start a Jedi camp." Absolutely. I love that.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. That's absolutely. I think we're all fed up. So one message I got from Source and the team was, bless your water, affirmations, be grateful for it, and ask that the water be recycled back to Source. Because it is us. It's what Rob and I shared. We are water. So, I mean, I've been saying affirmations in my water for years, but there's been a shift right now. It's just thanking the water, being grateful for it, and then asking, even if you drink it or you're using it, asking it to be recycled back to source for all of the resources to be returned to us, because it's all connected. It's all connected. Okay, so I asked about if 3i Atlas is helping us with this Atlas upgrade. I got us the 7 of Wands, which is connected to that plasma. Yes, Queen of Swords, it's helping to clear the old belief systems energies as well. And the High Priestess is about information that's being hidden. Maybe they don't want to share everything today. Hold on. Overall, they can't share exactly what it's doing, but it is helping. And we got the 6 of Wands, which is victory. So it is overall that plasma energy from 3i Atlas is helping us reclaim our sovereignty, which is, this is a big part of. That's a big part of our sovereignty.
Yeah, I agree.
That was something that was set up through this avatar, through this physical body. It wasn't something that we signed up for, that we remembered about. Oh yeah, I'm going to come into a body that has access through the back of my head. No. Yeah. And I think everyone's fed up. Everyone's fed up with the whole thing. So yeah.
Yeah. It's like everybody's going through tough times right now, you know? It's like it's really, you know, I don't know, but maybe this is like we're on the brink of something positive, you know? Maybe there's change coming, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. So how about why don't we leave it on why don't I just pull some cards, like just a message for all of us until we meet again, and see if we, because I think when you and I meet again, it'll be right around that next eclipse, or just after.
Yeah, I got it right. I wrote down the wrong date. I have my calendar here. Can you tell me what? I think it's the 24th, Wednesday the 24th. Yeah. Actually, I put down on the 14th. That would be right around the corner, so that wouldn't be. Yeah, I'll write it down right now.
Yeah. So why don't we just ask? We've all gone through a lot. We've all had a lot of stuff like pushed up into our face, irritation. Every single one of us went through something. And what positive messages can we receive right now for all of us until we meet again about things that are shifting for everyone here today? 3 of Swords. I know that doesn't look positive, but that's what we're coming out of. 10 of Cups. That's where we're at right now. And the 3 of Wands. Okay. And then over at the bottom of the deck is the Magician. So I see like we're heading into a lot of solar plexus, empowerment, sovereignty energy. This is what we're all coming out of. So that eclipse was supposed to push up heartache, stress. So I feel like even with Jay, all of us, whatever is, I had stuff come up too that I thought I had cleared. That was the grease cycle. I thought that was all gone. So any little bit of stuff that's blocking our heart chakra, any trauma, any stress, any fear, and resources, money is all a big part of that, had to come up so we could remove the swords from our heart. Right now we're at the 10 of Cups, so we're building towards a positive new beginning with that new moon. And I know it's not easy. Some days I've really had to like just push myself to keep saying the intentions and affirmations, because we're exhausted, we're tired. Just do the best that you can, okay? So this is what we're at, which is that celebration for all of us moving forward into a new timeline. I like the 10 too, because that's October. And then we've got 3 of Wands as well as the Magician. So we're a reminder that we're powerful manifestors. It's okay to vent and whinge, absolutely, because I've been doing that too, but make sure you just get it out and then reset yourselves and start setting your powerful intentions for what you want the universe to support you with. And 3 of Wands that's that third energy. That's that hope that we're receiving this support now. I know it's hard. I know everyone, it's hard to fathom that we've actually got something that's going to come help us, because it feels like we've been told that for years, right? Yeah. We've been told all these stories for years. It's a rescue mission, but it's not a rescue mission. So I kind of like the way this 3 Atlas assignment is, because it's not like them landing the ships and saying, here we are, we're going to take care of all your problems. They're bringing in this energy that's going to allow us to reclaim our sovereignty and our rights back by taking the grids back and taking our energy back. So that's what that third energy is. Right now they're far away, but they're coming. And to keep hanging on. So you know what I've been doing to feel really positive? Well, first off, they showed all the the remake Star Trek movies on the weekend. So I watched those, you know, the ones with Chris, is it Chris Pine?
I don't know. I never watched it.
Oh my God, they're so good. They're so good. So they were the remakes of the original crew, the young crew, but with different actors. And they're really good. So I watched those. And then the other message I received was, what else was it about that? Just that I think that was the original message of the original Star Trek, is that we are going to get to a point now that we're trying to move into where we're being helped, and there are individuals that we're all good people. We all want to help each other. Chris Pine, so good. I never watched them either, Rob. I hadn't watched them either, but they were on the weekend, so I watched them. They were really good. The original Spock was in it, and it was a time travel. It was a time travel thing. So there was the young crew. It showed when Kirk became the captain, how that worked, and then Spock from the future came and helped them in the past. So it was good. Yeah.
Well, this has been amazing. I gotta run. I gotta do a show at 8 p.m. tonight, but I gotta run some errands before it gets too late but I mean, we went for Brew tomorrow. We went for an hour and a half. I thought this was really good.
And I'm going to be a little late live on Rumble, everyone, because we had a longer show, but that's okay.
It was fun.
I'll be live on.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I really enjoyed this. You know, like
Me too. Yeah, and I'll be live on Rumble probably like half an hour. So we're going to dive more into these topics, and if anyone else has questions, come, because I'll do a Q&A live for sure.
Yeah, and then I'm supposed to be going live at 8 p.m. Eastern, guys. So 2 hours. You know, me and Rock Castaldo are going to come on. He's going to do a topic, and then he's also going to do readings for. So anybody that wants a personal reading, you guys can come at that time and get one, and if you want. I mean. You know, and we might start a little bit later because I still haven't even made the link yet. You know what I mean? So I gotta run to the store before it closes.
Well, you guys usually have long shows too. You and Raw usually.
Yeah, we have like 2 hour shows.
Yeah,
but it's like
I love that.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, I'm trying to make them all shorter. You know what I mean? Because I really want. I don't know. Like I spend too much time behind this computer. You know what I mean? Like
I know, but it's like today, like an hour and a half's gone by, and it's gone by so fast because we just had so much to cover. So it's been good. Yeah,
I know. And the audience likes it. You know, they look forward to it. You know, I have people message me when I don't post something about a show. I'll look in my Discord group and people will say, "Is there a show today?" So I feel now like I'm responsible to like bring content every day because I think people look forward to it. You know, and with
it's helping everyone. It's helping everyone get through. Right, we're at it's September, and it feels like it's been such a long year already. I'm so excited for fall, and I never even used to be a Christmas person. I'm already watching Harry Potter, and I can't wait for Christmas. Like like it's because to me Christmas now is like joy. It's just a representation of like, you know, funny movies, and I don't know.
I agree. Well, would you want to tell people where they can find you and all that stuff, and thank you, and how they can book a session with you and all that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So website, email is the best way to go. I wrote some things down so I don't forget. I'll be live on Rumble in about half an hour, everyone. If you want to come join me, that would be cool. That's new for me. What else did I? Okay, hold on. I wrote it down. Can I even read my writing? Okay, let me just see. Yeah. So, I guess that's it. So there is, right now I have an offer on right now, everyone. If you book a 60-minute session or a 3-session package, I brought back this bonus offer that you could receive a gem booster for free. So there's an abundant booster, a light shield upgrade booster, or a immune booster. And if you book a package, you get all 3. So that's a bonus offer on right now, as well as I just recalibrated my mini mentorship and my mentorship program. So that's being offered too. And I will be offering a grid work for the water resources. So in the past, I've only done it with divine goddess energy, but I'm going to check because I might be doing it with everybody this time because it's so important. Oh, and the final piece is this. You might all be doing this. I just started drinking crystal water again.
Wow. Yeah.
So I was guided to put amethyst and clear quartz in my water to drink, and just put affirmations there too. So if that resonates with all of you, start doing that.
I used to do that with shungite. You got to get a refined shungite. You got to get a good one. But if you get a good shungite that won't like leak, you know, it can really add some. And then you know, I'm sure you know, you can charge your crystals and shungite in the sun and then put it in the water. You know.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I did. I cleared them. You can also just use selenite to recharge your crystals as well.
Wow,
But
that's
I
cool.
just started doing that last 2 days, and I like you, I used to do it all the time. So that was one recommendation, and one of the updates was that if we're called to put crystals in our water, that will really help us right now.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. I forgot all about that. I haven't done it in so long.
Me neither. And just stick to, like, specifically stick to amethyst and plain quartz. All the other ones kind of make the water taste funky. You can put the other crystals on the outside of your glass jar, but look, it specifically in, just stick with amethyst and clear quartz.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
thank
great.
you everybody for tuning in today. And, guys, go watch Pink Bella's show on Rumble. She's going to be rumbling in a little bit, and I'll be live again tonight around 8 or 8:30 with Raw Castaldo. So, guys can check that out too. And thank you everybody for tuning in today, and we will see you next time, and have a good night.